Hey folks, Lack of Response here. We're doing another round of the good, the bad, and the weird. Today we are talking about this knife. This is the Miguron Arma. Let's sit down and take a close look. Here we are taking a close look at the Miguron Arma. We are going to talk about the good, which is things I like about it. The bad, which is things that could be better about it. And the weird, which is things that make it very different, interesting, unique. The weird things about it that caught my eye to begin with, or that came to my attention after buying it. The things that are weird. I don't know why I'm going to make that sound more complex than it is. I'm sorry, I'm babbling. So, in accordance with prophecy, we start with measurements and size comparisons. Let's get a measurement. About 3.5 inches of cutting edge, about 8.5 inches of blade overall. Doesn't look like that big of a knife until you get to this dimension where it is, it's a chubby bunny. Yeah, it's like 3/4 of an inch thick. We are going to bring out some size comparison knives in a minute. And we're actually going to do that right now. First off, the normal knife size comparisons, like a large Sebenza 21 or a Spyderco Manix. So, this dimension, from it looks like a medium-sized knife. Nothing outrageous, nothing ridiculous. This dimension is where we get silly. Yeah, it's a chunky boy. This might, words are so difficult. Why do words have to be so hard? In thickness, this really kind of lives more in this space here with like the big chunky PMPs. You know, it's definitely a knife in the big chunky, why is it that thick, titanium brick type of category. Thickness-wise, let's see what kind of markings we have on the blade, if any. Let's zoom in. Doesn't look like this has anything there. Show side's pretty clean. Says M390. So we got a titanium frame lock handle, nice big M390 blade with schmotes from use. And let's zoom back out. I've got a couple other knives out here that I want to present comparison-wise. To start off, we're going to talk about the good, which are the aesthetics of it, right? The finger slot, the finger choil, general handle profile. When I saw that in that dimension, it made me think a lot of a Ferrum Forge design. We have a couple of Ferrum Forges. That is the button lock Mordax, and here is the Master Blaster. So you can kind of see around like, yeah, it's like, oh, that looks like a Ferrum Forge until you get into this dimension again, and it's like, from this angle, it looks more like a PMP. That was very appealing to me when I bought this knife. So I'm definitely going to put it in the good. It's weird too, but it caught my eye. I was like, oh, that's silly. I need that. Let's listen to the sound. That is an authoritative sound. A nice solid thwack. Metal that is M390 high-fiving whatever they decided that stop pin is made out of, and resonating through that titanium cinder block of a handle. So nice. The detent is strong, but not too strong. The action is on bearings. So functionally, it functions well. Ergonomically, it's very comfortable in the hand because you have a nice thick handle with plenty of room for all of your hand meat. So, you know, it's a roomy handle in every dimension. So you can have a nice comfy grip. If you need to chop, you can chop. It's got a nice drop point blade. If you need to poke, you can poke. If you need to slice, you may be able to slice. That is a flat ground M390 blade. And the grind only comes up maybe 2/3 of the way. So not going to be the best at fine slicing if you're trying to like slice a block of cheese or peel a kiwi or something. You're going to have a rough time with this knife. So it's a little too thick to be slicey, but it's entertainingly thick. It's down with the thickness. Okay. The finger hole is, do we see chamfers in this finger hole? Let's zoom in. I like a chamfered finger hole, and we have one. So, yes, finger hole is chamfered, is good. Jimping is comfortable. Finger choil is roomy enough to get a big chubby sausage finger in there. Pocket clip is not a big deal. Of course, I don't use pocket clips a lot. I tend to be more of a pocket slip guy. I don't think there's that many people who use slips instead of pocket clips. But it's how I enjoy the hobby. If you want to... Yeah, my smaller pocket slip, it's a snug fit. It takes some doing, and getting it out of there would be tricky. For a bigger knife, I usually reach for my bigger pocket slip. Much more accessible that way. Also good, the price. Miguron is not, or at least back when I was shopping for them, they were not an expensive brand. You know, they're definitely a bargain compared to, say, the big PMP boys. And they are priced more like, you know, some of Max Ace's, like budget chunky knives. This is the Max Ace Goliath. It says it right on the blade. I always forget. But I remember where to look. That's the PMP Alpha Beast and the PMP Kodiak, I think. I forget what it is. It's the big chunky PMP that's not as big as the Alpha Beast. So let's clear myself a little space. So it is entertainingly thick and chunky. Is good. The bad, you know, the same drawbacks as your usual absurdly thick knife. It is a brick in the pocket, and it doesn't slice well. Only gripes. But when you're getting this kind of knife, you know that's what you're getting. You know. You're buying it because it's funny that it's so thick. It puts a smile on your face. It brings you joy. And if you've seen the news at any point in the past 25 years? Okay, let's be honest, 46 years. If you have seen the news at any point in your life, you know we need joy. And for some of us, I don't know if we're lucky or unlucky, we can get joy from buying ridiculous knives. And I am grateful to Miguron for providing them. The weird. It looks like Ferrum Forge and PMP had a baby. That's the weird. I keep reaching for the Ferrum Forge and grabbing something that is not Ferrum Forge, but yeah. It looks like Ferrum Forge and PMP had a baby. And that is what the weird thing about it. And I love that about it. I love it. So it's got the kind of aesthetics. Like this dimension, it's Ferrum Forge inspired. This dimension, it's PMP. I love that fusion of these two very disparate genres of knife. I am delighted that it exists, and I hope more knives that fuse the practical with the silly exist in the world for us all to enjoy. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. I want to ask you to tell me what you think. Do you disagree that this looks like a cross between Ferrum Forge and PMP? What does it look like to you? Tell us in the comments. Please like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one. Have a good one.